Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Speak Before I Think. Here today I have Johnny Speaks. So I guess that leaves me as Jax Thinks.
I like that.
There
That
we
works.
go.
Yeah, the speaks. I like that. I like the
hmm
similarity.
hmm You're just
Works.
you're just like on brand for today.
It works for y'all and works for me. I like it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about yourself. You go into the music, you do all the plant stuff. Let's dive into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I can start. I don't know. So like a lot of the music that I write or that I found is really just like about a lot of it's about earlier in life growing up, and like a lot of my songs are about people specifically or like an event specifically when they're growing up. So yeah, I can talk a little bit about like I grew up in Chicago,
hmm
Illinois. And my dad was a firefighter and my mom a CPA, so like an accountant.
Oh,
And so I grew up as a drummer. And
nice.
people hear me play now, and they're like, that makes a lot of sense because like you're kind of like it's like very rhythmic, I guess. But
hmm
so I just grew up as a drummer, and all my friends were like learning instruments. I remember, and I wanted to be in a band, and too many people were playing like strings, so guitar and bass. So I just started to play drums, and I was just like obsessed with it. It was just like John Bonham and Neil Peart, like all these old classic drummers, I was like obsessed with. And but then over the years, people would start to leave their guitars at my house because I was the drummer,
hmm
and so they would just leave their amps and everything there. And so I just started to pick it up like just bit by bit over the years. And I didn't really seriously get into playing guitar until like years later. Until I was like I don't know a late teenager, and then I started playing guitar like for my own way more seriously like only a couple years ago. So in the last I don't know 4 years or so.
hmm
And an acoustic guitar was just like the easiest, and it felt like the most natural transition because it just felt like you're playing really deep chords. It felt like a bass drum.
hmm
Playing like super high chords, it felt like a snare drum. So a lot of stuff I'm doing is just like, ooh, it's a beat, or it kind of feels like that. So I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of how I got started in music. And now, I've only started like writing my own songs and stuff, past 2 years or so. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, because you picked up the guitar like when you kind of were like in college, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, mostly like I couldn't bring my drums to school 'cause I can't fit them in a dorm room, and
Damn it.
and I went yeah, and I was like oh, so I just had an acoustic guitar at that point that I that was my thing,
hmm
and I went to Indiana University my first year, and I ended up transferring out because I thought I wanted to go into like journalism, and all my friends were at Illinois. So but Indiana University is like one of the best music schools, just so happens in the country. And I was there to study like I don't know. I thought I wanted to do business, and then found out immediately I hated that. And
I've
and
learned
so
that the hard way, but
yeah, like
we're
it's
trucking along
just
with it.
yeah, like I remember they put me in like they put me so when you get placed in dorms, like they put me in the dorms where all the business students were, and at that point the business school hadn't let me in yet because they were like you're not smart. Why would we? It's like I was on this wait list to get in, but I was still at the university, so I would walk from the business dorm to my classes, and all of these like all the liberal arts colleges and
Mhm.
dorms were in the middle of that, and so I would just walk past like all these people who I'm just like the potential best friends are all wearing like tie dye and playing frisbee and
Oh.
like reading. I don't know, I don't know, just hanging out. And I kind of started to think about what I really wanted to do, and then I changed it up.
I'm glad you did. I was a little stuck. I went down the business route because I was like, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. At the
But
time, I
hmm
just didn't know what to do, and so like the business was just like I don't know. Business seems like I can apply it somehow, and I didn't really know.
it's not personal.
So
It's just business.
yeah. I think it means we're kindred spirits in that we weren't like I'm not meant for that world. I feel like where it's just like profit and I can't even. I was gonna say profit and taxes and Excel sheets. I don't even know like what.
You're pretty spot on.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of the kids I went to school with growing up, like a lot of them are in business just because their parents were in business. But I don't know what they do. Like
Mm-hmm.
their jobs are like I'm sure they can explain it to me, but when I hear their titles, it's like, you know, business organizer, development manager, like assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, like what is like what do you really want to do with your life? Like, and to me at least, that's not it. I don't know,
Oh yeah, no,
but
I
yeah.
don't blame you. The only reason there's two reasons I'm stuck in the business. Thank you, College of Business, CSU. But
Yeah.
one of the things is a scholarship, definitely. So
Yeah, I
they got
mean,
me a little
yeah.
trapped on that one. They're like,
Yeah, and in
if you
business, you
leave.
know, it's a great way. And like, I'm never gonna knock anybody for doing something that's gonna get like a 9 to 5 job that can support you no matter what. Like, it's just it's so hard now, especially compared to like when I first went to college.
Hmm.
And so yeah, like business is it's still great. Still do it, kids.
If you're
But
going into business, the main thing I would say is CSU. I don't know if you've heard of it, but CSU now has a music business program.
I heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. They yeah, like that well, honestly, it probably was available to me in Indiana, but I never took advantage of it. But at yet U of I and like nowhere anywhere else I've seen that's like it's a very rare program,
Hmm.
and it's so cool that it's overlapped with like Fort Collins is such a good music town too that
Oh
like
yeah.
it just blends perfectly. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, easily. Because I mean, that's why I ended up here because I first felt like I was in business, and then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this sucks. But then I found the music business. I was like, I think I struck
Yeah.
gold here.
So that's your major. That's kind of your route is music
Oh,
business.
easily.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Nice.
I love hearing like your guys' voices, and I want to like
Yeah.
help amplify, which is why I started this podcast. Is like,
That is pretty
getting the
cool.
voice out. But
So
yeah.
now I have a question. What is the difference between like to music business as a thing and then music like because you're kind of in music communication, which is almost like this
Hmm.
side part of it. So do you still have the businessy kind of interest, or is this just like you just want to do stuff like this, like podcasting?
I definitely I let me think. I want this to kind of be like this is my passion project. Yes, I would love if this got the money. But at the end of the day, I kind of want to be more of like on the promoter side because I've
I
heard
see.
horror
Yeah.
stories of people like having shitty promoters and shitty managers. But like I want to be in it and actually be like, okay, I have love for the music, I have love for the people. Let's make sure they're being fucking treated right because
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
crazy. It's crazy the
I'm in
stories you
love with
hear.
that idea. That sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm here, but hopefully something goes on. Um, hopefully getting an internship at the Lyric. That's where I'm kind of hoping.
Lyric's awesome.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Okay.
Sorry, I'm asking questions now.
No, you
I'm
are
throwing
so
it
good.
off.
I love this. But I'm a little curious. Okay, so you definitely went to Indiana for college. You grew up in Illinois, right?
Yeah, and then so I transferred to University of Illinois because all my friends went there for college, and so it was just and it was like super expensive out of state, and so I went to University of Illinois, and
Nice.
that's where I started doing a little bit more guitar heavy thinking at least.
Did you teach yourself guitar? Or did you like take lessons, or how'd that
Yeah, I
go?
mean I when I was at so I when I was a drummer I never took any lessons, so I just learned by I would just blast Led Zeppelin in my headphones and just play along with it, and that's just kind of how I learned. I never knew how to do like I know friends who can read like drum music notation,
Hmm.
like triplets and things, and I just can't. I don't know how to do that, and so exactly the same with guitar. Like I I would literally pick up my friends' guitars when they left them, and I would be try and like emulate what they were doing that day, or I
Hmm.
would just like blues was always my favorite growing up as a kid, and so I would try and learn like really short blues licks or something. But yeah, and then it was just like guitar tabs, and guitar tabs was like the best.
Oh yeah.
It was just like a very easy way for me to grasp like at least exactly what chords I should be playing,
Hmm.
and but still even now like I'm really bad with tabs, or usually I'll just kind of sound things out, and so I feel like if I'm covering a song people are like, "That's not the chord," or your fingers look weird. Like I play some chords really weird, like and it's I just kind of like put it together, and apparently it sounds good, or I think it sounds good. I
Oh
don't
yeah. Guys, don't look at my fingers.
Yeah,
Just listen.
yeah.
But that's the point of a cover. It doesn't have to be
Exactly.
you're
That's
covering it. It's what you want it to be at that moment.
That has always been my thought. Like a good cover for a song is just like making it your own, but like it's not trying to copy it completely, and it just like just kind of destroys the best part of it. You know, like it's kind of like it's like trying to sing like Dave Matthews. Like no one can really sing like Dave Matthews, and so it's like if you're trying to copy a song from him or play a song of his, it's like you have to make it your own, or else it's just like like this very
Yeah.
it's not only Dave does that because then it's him, and like that can apply to so many other songs. But yeah,
Well, yeah, it
super
just
tricky.
goes back to the uniqueness. Everyone's unique. Everyone has their own spark, and at the end of the day, you gotta find what's you. I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
But how'd you end up in Fort Collins?
yeah. So I from Illinois, I moved down to Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
Athens, Georgia, and I went to grad school. And I ended up staying there for 9 years, and then moved here just about 2 years ago or so for a postdoc, so a job at CSU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're just studying basically the genetics underlying drought tolerance in this this crop called sorghum, which people don't in the U.S. don't really recognize what it is, but it's in like birdseed and kind of organic things like granola. But in Africa, it's just like one of the number one food crops, or one of the top food crops that people sow. That's what made me want to come here, and knowing that it's really similar to Athens, Georgia.
Really? How
Yeah,
so?
it's just a college town with a great music scene. Like they
Mm.
both have that super much in common, and all the people are super similar. There's mountains here, which makes Fort Collins way better. But
Real cool like that.
yeah, that was kind of the connecting string for me. I saw that this guy had a job, and so I jumped on that, and I was like, I'm moving out. I'm moving out here.
That's nice. Okay,
Yeah,
so you went to graduate school. Can you tell us a little bit more of like what you
yeah,
studied?
yeah. It's pretty boring. Or I think it was pretty boring.
You
Now
make
it
it
is.
sound
But
interesting. I'm like, I'm ready to hear
well,
more.
what I do now, I think is way more interesting than what I did in grad school. So in
Okay.
grad school, I was really into. I was a molecular biologist, basically. So like I was really into microscopes. So microscopes with lasers and just things like that. Working with plants though. So I ended up writing my dissertation on a turf grass, which I don't. Turf grass is not the greatest for the environment. It's
Oh
like
no.
awful things with water. But we were trying to look at a turf grass that grows basically like next to the ocean and in the ocean because it's really salt tolerant.
Hmm.
And salt is going to become an issue for crops growing, in the coming decades. But we were trying to figure out how it deals with salt. So we were growing it in really high salt water. Like, why does it grow when a crop like corn can't
Hmm.
grow? And so we ended up. It was just really cool. So we just did a lot of microscopy and figured out that it was putting all of its salt into like these little basically balloon-like structures on the leaf surface.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I thought it was super cool. Like that was just my favorite. It was just I got to work at a really weird project that I was obsessed with. That I don't know, who knows if it'll make a difference in global food shortages, but that project was cool.
That
Yeah,
does.
which
So
now my work is more like I like it. It's
that's
applied.
awesome. So is it kind of like like humans need salt, so like it helps
mm,
absorb? Is that kind of like what it is for the plants, or is it like a?
kinda. It's almost like so we need salt to
Hmm.
like live, and plants don't really need salt to live. Like
Hmm.
sodium is, and sodium chloride is like, just it's the most soluble salt on the planet. It's everywhere, and so plants have adapted ways to deal with it, where they just kind of like will take it up and then they'll spit it out of their stomata, or they'll do.
Mm.
There's just like a bunch of crazy stuff that they'll do, but yeah, most plants it kills. So things like the ocean rising. If you're somewhere like Bangladesh, for instance, is all below sea level,
Mm.
and it's this kind of this series of islands, and there's a lot of farms that are going to be kind of inundated with salt water from the ocean, and so those plants do not grow well with it, and it's going to kill them. So we're trying to figure out ways like, are there genes or are there like mechanisms that we can figure out that maybe we can we can deal with in this other crop that like we eat and care about, that's not a turf grass. So how can we improve those crops,
Hmm.
um, that are going to be growing in this like salt infested soil, basically?
So
Yeah.
this is so I'm okay. One of my questions is with like kind of hurricanes going on in Florida, is there going to be kind
Mm.
of like that situation
Uh,
there since there's so much
it's
salt
like a
water
yeah,
going
it's a
everywhere?
great question. So there's like there's a lot that is done on the coast, and this is true of the coast, like anywhere in the U.S., but mostly
Hmm.
on the East Coast, because it's dealing with stuff like hurricanes like this, like I think Helene, and then Milton was coming across, in Florida. But the yeah, the biggest thing is like if you ever go to a protected coastline,
Hmm.
you'll see that it's not like land, it's actually mostly plants. So it's like seagrasses and then these reed kind of plants that grow up. And they can go on for miles on the coast. So from where there's land to where like the ocean starts and you go to the beach, it could be like miles of just like, it's kind of like the Everglades
Mm.
basically. And so what those plants do is when hurricanes come in, there's so many plants and so much soil and debris that's all kind of taken up by those plants and held together that it protects the coastline from erosion over time. So
Oh
in
wow.
places that you can look in Florida, there's places where we've developed like so many houses and so much like anything human built, and those areas are eroding like very quickly, and the areas that are protected by this coastline and all these kind of marsh-like plants, coastal plants are doing better. So yeah,
Huh.
but it is scary. It's not like plants can protect against every hurricane. So
Mm.
something like Hurricane Helene is like incredibly damaging, I imagine.
Hmm.
Yeah, so super sad because it's not just about like the damage that's happening now, but like once that's eroded, it's you can't get that back. It's really really hard. It's
Mm.
just you're losing land and homes and all that kind of stuff. So
That is crazy.
yeah, yeah, trying to bring
Oh.
the podcast up some positive notes.
Oh yeah. Positive positivity. Okay, well with that, okay. With your music, it's definitely been more of a writing process within these 2 years. What has been kind of some growing pains, some growth spurts? Let's
Yeah,
go into that little journey.
yeah. So I really started taking more of like this singer songwriter route where I was writing my own songs and singing them and making just writing the song. And so I was like doing that mostly when I first moved here, and I don't really know what made me start doing it again. I think I realized that like I had taken music and kind of put it aside to focus on things like my career and the rest of life. And so when I started playing guitar more, and especially when I started writing, I realized how happy it made me and how much it made me like just a better person. And it just, I don't know, there's something about music that's just like healing in a way when you're the one doing it, but
Hmm.
yeah, and but also healing when you're listening to it. And so it just kind of, I don't know, it was this slow trudge of, all right, I kind of want to be a musician. I kind of want to be a musician. And yeah, when I got to Fort Collins, it was just it was so easy because there's so many opportunities here
Oh,
for like beginning artists. And so I had never done an open mic, never sang in front of anybody. And
really?
yeah, when I moved here, I went to the Atrium open mic, and that was the first time I ever sang and played guitar in front of anybody. And it was great. And so I think having that and a lot of the open mics and like the local music community here made it almost easy to just kind of like melt into the music community. And so the music district has made it easy too. Like I'm part of them and they're great. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, the nature, and it was the first time I lived this far away from home, like where I grew up.
Hmm.
And so I was feeling a little homesick. And that kind of made me, I don't know, music is the easiest way for me to express myself, I feel like. And so I ended up just trying to express how I felt through writing. Yeah, so that was kind of like the easy part going into music. And then the second part really was in so a little over a year ago, my dad passed away. And for me, he was a Chicago fireman for like 30 plus years, and he got sick from that, and then smoking cigarettes. And so it was surprising, but also not surprising. But it was way more surprising how it impacted me and music, especially. Um, like when I went back when he was like it was kind of like the end. My best friend growing up brought me a guitar. He was just like an acoustic guitar. He was just like, dude, I know you need this right now because I couldn't find. I didn't bring mine back, and uh, and so that I feel like started a lot for me in terms of like how I write and what I write about and really like why I write. And it feels like it's finally coming from like a more true spot in me where it was really hard for me to like consider myself an artist and like talk about how I feel, especially in a song, and you want people to like it, and it just I kind of took this approach where I was just like, all right, I don't care if anybody likes it, like I'm just making it for me, and just kind of. And when I started doing that, people were like, "I really like that song. I kind of like it." And I was like, "I really like that." And so, this kind of culminated in me starting to write and kind of do it in a creative way where I can organize it. And so I made my first music ever, which was my EP, JJ. And so it was just 5 songs, and the whole thing is just dedicated to my dad. The cover is a picture of my dad. And yeah, every song is about a person or an event or a feeling that just reminds me of him. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, I think.
No, I'm very glad, especially it seems that you definitely feel even more of a connection. Like you definitely were connected, but it almost feels like there's one more heartstring that's just
Yeah.
like attached itself to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
super true.
oh yeah. So with that, you kind of what does that like songwriting process look for you? Like, is it you sit down, you strum? Is it like a couple of recordings over here and there, patch it all together? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, for me, it's like it's almost always been the music part first, so guitar for me first, and I think it's just because of how I grew up as like I grew up as a drummer, and I grew up as like learning how to play. And I didn't really sing until super recently, and so whenever I was learning a song, it would always just be guitar first to like get the chords, and mostly just like I was into learning licks. So I would be like, oh, how the Jimmy Page did this weird little
Oh yeah.
whatever, and I still can't do it. But just an example. And so it's almost always for me guitar first, and and then depending on like how I feel about the song, like most songs to me, I'll start with just like a riff that I've just been jamming on because like that's I'm a really bad guitar practicer where like you should be practicing songs and chords and I don't know runs, and I'm just like just doodling around for hours. But so but then when I get a feel for a song, then I can kind of be like, okay, this is kind of more of a like how does this song make me feel when I play it, or how did I feel when I was playing this song? And usually it comes out like I was like angry, and then it's like this like, or it's like I wrote a song about my brother, and it's just like very like straight from my heart, and it's just very quiet, and I wanted the lyrics to be everything. So it's like I feel like yeah, music first, guitar, and then it's always like how to for my feelings. Like how did I feel? What do I it's never anymore about like I want to make a bluegrass song, or I want to make a whatever metal song on acoustic guitar, or I want to make this because I think someone will like it. Like I think it's way more now about like it feels like art to me, where I'm like I'm just putting this out, and like yeah, people like it, awesome, but it's real. I don't know, it feels more real now. It's
Love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you're definitely using both sides of your brain because you obviously have your science side and you have your music side. Do you feel like there's any like intersections between the two? Like,
Well, so first I think I'm real I'm I'm not great on the science side. Like, so what I'm found out in science is like what I really like is like coming up with new ideas, and then the teaching and mentoring part of it is more about like the relationships you have with trying to help people on their path in grad school, like figure out their life and what they want to do professionally, and so that part's exciting. But yeah, there's definitely like, and I've always said this, there's crossovers between science and music, and I think it's so true because so many of the scientists I know are musicians, and
That's
it's
awesome.
just like, and and more so in that like grouping of people I know, scientists, there's more artists, there's more like writers, there's more just really creative people who are just, I don't know, they're, you kind of have to be creative to be like a good scientist in my
Mhm.
mind, where people have looked at a problem, if it's whatever the problem is, like how this one plant, how corn grows, and how it deals with drought or something. People have been
Mm-hmm.
looking at it for 100 years. So like, how do you come in and think about it differently than people have thought about it for 100 years? And
Oh yeah.
you know, in a lot of ways, music is kind of like that, where it's like we've all felt sad, we've all felt angry or jealous, like for millennia and centuries. But how we express that is so different and unique and very like just not uniform at all. I mean, how many songs do you know are about like breaking up or like losing someone you love or like losing love? It's just like the themes are so similar, but we all have different stories that apply to like
Mm.
those same things. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I feel about it, but I don't know if I answered your question. I feel like I went looping around there,
No, you're
but
pretty. I like the response. No, I think
yeah.
it's cool because have you seen those videos where it's like they'll like connect a plant to like an amp and like it'll be kind of like
Ooh,
they'll play like
no.
different strums or like guitar like they'll play the guitar but like
The
it's
plant's
going
like,
through the
ooh, I like
plant.
that one, or
It's
no.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. I'll have to show you
Yeah.
some TikToks for it, but
Yeah,
like it
that sounds
creates a
pretty cool.
different sound. Like,
Actually, yeah, so
hmm
there's, so like, all right, now we're getting into science. So like
yeah.
some plants, or not some plants, but plants have like, there's electrical signals that are conducted through them, and so like, yeah, maybe it's the sound of a plant. I don't know. I don't. You might need a different wire, a different input or something. But like to hear what they're actually saying, I don't know. That's cool.
That
I
is
want to see that.
God. That'd be sick if we're able to speak to plants one day.
Yeah, see what they're saying.
Yeah.
Just screaming all the time. So hot. Water.
Water.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably just water all the
I think my plants are
time.
like just constantly screaming. Not
Yeah,
nothing of like anything. It's just
yeah,
screams of torture.
yeah. People are always like asking me about their plants and how to take care of them, and I was like, I cannot. I am awful at taking care of plants. Like, I have succulents, and I mean, we have big plants and stuff that are like clinging on, but it's hard. It's hard to take care of
It
plants.
is yeah.
Yeah,
I give you met Aiden a little earlier. He
yeah,
loves his plants. He's honestly probably gonna be on my strange addiction because
yeah.
he'll be scrolling and I'll be like, "Are you on TikTok or whatever?" And he's like, "No."
Plants,
It's always plants.
plants. Yeah.
It's so crazy, but
And there's so many
it's
good plant stores in
hard.
town too,
There
like in garden
are.
centers. Yeah, it's awesome. Like this place is just, I don't know. For me, it was just like plants and music and like mountains, and I was like, yeah,
You
Fort
got an
Collins is
all-in-one package here.
perfect. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. But with that, I'm kind of curious about more of your stage presence. You're awesome to talk with now. You definitely
Thanks.
have a wonderful aura that you kind of like just present. I'm curious, do you feel like you're a different person on stage, or is it,
Hmm.
how's it evolved from you, like right here, right now, as in,
Yeah,
we'll throw you on the stage and how you do?
yeah. It's a good question. I think so. So when I started like ever performing music in front of people, it was like as a drummer. So I was always in the back, and it felt like comfortable
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have to be in the front. And, like, it was just fun. And then when I first started playing, it was like nerve wracking. At the atrium, I remember the first night I played, and I remember my knee was like shaking,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What is this?" I was just like, "What is going on?" My bones are getting all like, like what's happening? And so like at that point, I had like a hat on, and so at the beginning, I felt very, because I was just like very. I had a hat on most of the time when I played, and I'd play like with my head down, and then I think when I started getting feedback from my friends who I just made in the music community, who were like, I really like that song. This one sounds really good. You should sing it louder. Like, why? And if someone would, I had one person literally tell me, it was my friend who was also another performer, and he was like, you when you perform, you are like this. Like no one ever can see your face, and so it was just like, I don't know. I just made a switch and I was like, all right, because it wasn't. I always felt like I knew the chords, and unless it was something really technical, I wasn't usually looking at like this hand or anything. I was just like, I'm scared, don't look at me, and and so then yeah, I don't know, I just kind of like became more confident, but I never felt like I had like a different stage like persona, I guess.
Hmm.
Like I think I don't know, with my music, it's all coming from, I don't know, it's as authentic as I'm trying to be. And
Hmm.
so if I don't know, it'd be weird if my music was like that and then I went out and I was just like this like raging crazy person or something. But I'm just trying to be me, and like it's yeah, like if yeah, I don't know. It's a
I
good
like
question to
that.
think about. Am I different on stage? Like I would say no, but maybe yeah, we'll see. I feel like myself on stage.
That's good. That's a good feeling to have, though. Like if
Yeah,
you feel like
yeah,
you're if you're able to be
yeah.
yourself on the stage,
That's
even
more,
if it's
yeah.
like a different alter ego, like alter egos are still yourself. You know what I mean? You're
Exactly.
always
Yeah.
connected. So
Yeah,
that's
that's what I was
good.
like. That's how I feel. I don't know if it's true from the outside. For me, I was like, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm being myself.
That's
So
awesome. So, do you kind of plan on going? Because you're definitely taking more of a solo approach with this. Have you worked with like any other bands or thought of like joining up with anyone else?
yeah, I mean, so right now it's been mostly, yeah, it's been, if not all, just me. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've been jamming with some friends who and it's mostly kind of in this bluegrassy area. So I've had, and I mostly play electric or acoustic, and so I've jammed with some friends where it's like a rock band, and I played electric, but like this is really my instrument, I feel like. And
Oh yeah.
so it's been it's been harder for me to figure out how to play in like like a community of musicians where it's more like stand up bass, mandolin and fiddle,
Mm.
and laptop guitars and like that kind of stuff. I'm figuring out is fits a lot more with like the songs that I'm singing. And so yeah, I haven't worked out with a ton of people, like, to name any names or anything, but it's definitely something I'm trying to do, is like just get more people together, because it's so hard to form a band. Like I don't the
I
last
don't
time I
blame
formed a
you.
band, I was in like, high school or something. And so
Oh yeah.
I and even now when I'm like it's my own thing and I'm trying to like lead it and really do it, it's like yeah, um it's really, it's hard because I'm like, I want this to sound like that, or I want, the bassist to sound like this. And so,
Hmm.
and just finding like, you know try and go out right now and try and find a really good stand-up bassist. Like there's a few of them in town that I know, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, it makes it more fun though. Like figuring that out is super fun to me. Like
Oh yeah.
so now I'm just jamming with a lot of people, just trying to figure out that next step. Basically is like recording and playing live with like people behind me, I guess, or
Oh
with me, not behind me, with me.
yeah. In the back, guys.
Yeah.
It's me in the front.
Johnny Speaks is in the front. The
The main
lights and
show.
me.
Oh, I love that. So I kind of saw. I don't know if this is true yet, but are you going to be performing at a festival here soon? Or did I hear
Ooh,
about that?
not that I know
Not
of.
that you know. Very
I have some
fair.
shows coming up, but no festivals.
No festivals yet.
Yeah, not
Well,
yet.
what shows you got?
Okay, let's see. So I'm playing. I don't know if they've been announced yet, but that's okay. I'm playing First Friday at Mugs downtown. Just a
Oh,
cool little intimate show, very cool. And then I'm playing at Wolverine Farm
mhm.
that following Wednesday, so November 6th. And then also hasn't been announced yet, but I'm playing at Globe Hall in Denver.
No, that's
And that's gonna
awesome.
be like closer to the week of Thanksgiving, but that'll be the first show I've ever done outside of Fort Collins, Loveland, like this whole little area. And so yeah, making the jump. I don't.
Oh yeah.
We'll see
Oh
how
yeah.
Denver treats me, but yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Oh, they'll treat you real good.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it. How's it been like performing here at these different venues? Like, Atrium's definitely one. What other venues have you kind of done?
Yeah, so a lot of them I've like my favorite kind of venue is just like really small and intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Atrium, that's where I had my album release show, and it was just perfect.
That's awesome.
Fox Den is another place where they have small shows there. Super cool, super intimate, great coffee, great beer. Just like an awesome place. Like the Lyric, and that's just like open mic. I'm just pushing them because they're awesome. Just really cool people.
Oh yeah.
And then in town, kind of outside of town, my favorite place I've played has been I got to play the Fox Theater in Boulder, which was just like insane. It was so cool. So that's definitely the biggest place I've played. Is yeah, and I got to sit on these couches, and there were pictures of like
Oh hell
Bob
yeah.
Weir and like Grateful Dead. And I was just like, this is weird, but yeah, super fun.
That's awesome. Um, yeah. Well, I don't know if are you still willing to play? I'm a little curious.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about this. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'd love to hear you play.
Let's do it. So let me grab my guitar.
Oh yeah.
Her name, if you're wondering.
Oh, I'm wondering.
Her name is Betty.
Betty.
Because it's I got her right before, and I named her it before Betty White died. And so this guitar, she's just for Betty White.
I am obsessed with Betty White.
Betty White.
That day hit.
It was so sad because you were like, if Betty, it's kind of like the guy who does the documentary, David Attenborough.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I don't know him, but if he goes away, I'm just like, the world is just too evil right now. We need, and it was like right. And I remember being right when we needed some good Betty White quotes.
I know. I wish we could hear what she says about the current state of the world.
Oh, she would be amazing.
Especially with I grew up on Golden Girls, so.
Oh yeah, so like
with that show.
The fact that she's still, I mean, because people know her now for. Sorry, this is a fun part of the process. Shutting your guitar case. Ooh, and you should have brought a hard shell case. Yeah.
Whoops, it happens.
It works.
Yay!
But yeah, everybody meet Betty.
Oh, Betty.
Oh, I know, it's kind of sad now, and I'm like, oh. Alright. You can tune? No. Do you mind if I tune it real quick?
Well, please.
Alright, yeah.
I'm like, there is no shame in tuning.
Not sure how the editing process works here, but let's tune this up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, most professional real musicians have guitar tuners. I have a guitar tuner app.
That's how it is. And if it works, it works. No, I always find it.
No, you're good. I can hear you.
Okay. But I always find it so crazy that some people are just able to tune by ear and they'd be like, yep, that's right. I'm like, okay.
You know, I've always thought that I should be able to, because that's how I've always learned songs, is just like by figuring it out. But like, yeah, and I hate if I'm playing and my guitar's out of tune, it messes with your head. It messes with your head during a performance. And take a sip of this.
Perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. This is the first time I've had someone perform.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see how your neighbors handle it. Let's see who these people are. Let's see, what do y'all want to hear? I can play. I'm gonna play a song from my EP. Probably, it's like my favorite song from the EP.
Hell yeah!
It's the first song. And it's called "The Fireman," and I wrote it for my dad. This is Fireman. Something's going on in my head, love. I can feel it in my toes, in
up to sky above. By above simply mean nothing but the clouds. The house goes up in flames, and up they go. Don't worry, love, the fireman is here. Finally, we stand shoulder by shoulder. But we just stand. Cause we're all just passengers here on the wheel. And my soul ain't much more pure than yours. So let's go fight the silver bullet now and walk through the door. Something's going on in my soul, yeah. Can you feel it in your heart? Up to the sky above. By above simply means nothing but the clouds. The house is still ablaze, and up there you go. Don't worry, Lord, 'cause the fireman is here. We just stay alone. We just stay alone. We're all just passengers here on the wheel. My soul ain't much more pure than yours. So let's both fight the silver bullet now and walk through that door.
Holy
That's it, y'all.
fuck. That was so...
Thank you.
Holy shit. I'm starstruck. That is fucking...
As am I.
That was amazing.
Thank y'all for letting me play it.
Yeah. Holy shit. I would regret it
man.
if I didn't. Holy
It's
fuck.
funny. People are like, so that song, like, when I feel like I have a very different level for like how
Like that song to me is like a slow song,
Mm.
and people in me are like, "That's a slow song," but like the news, like the EP is very slow and soft, and that's how I wanted it to be. So it's just very like, I don't know, heartfelt. But like, I don't know. Now I'm like, all right, now put that out. I got that out of my system, and now I'm just doing stuff that's just, I don't know, stuff I like more like technically to play, where it's like so like that kind of stuff. It's just like really, it's like a little more upbeat, but also just it's more fun to play. Like,
It looks fun.
yeah, it's just
It
like,
sounds fun. I love it.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, but it's fun.
That's good as fuck.
I'll just hold on to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, holy shit. Like, thank you for doing. Oh my god. I'm like at a loss of words. That was great. That was
Thank
awesome.
you so much for the kind words.
Well, shit. Now we got your music. Let's see. We got you playing. Now let's play some things for you. Let's play a game.
Okay.
So we have a game. Fifth episode in and still don't fully like the name of it, but it is called Clipbit. And so I asked you for 3 of your favorite artists at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And so from that, I kind of picked some songs at random. I will play the first 5 seconds, and you were going to guess who the artist is, what the song is, and what album it is from.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm bad at this.
It's the same here. Madrid, do you mind if I use your phone? No, sorry. I can't fully. There we go.
I'll be good with the artist. Whoa!
Got it. Okay.
Nice grab.
Oh, I'm looking up phone. I need to look up. Oh yeah, your Apple Music.
Oh, you're an Apple. I have Spotify and Apple Music, but only because I used to put Apple Music on my Apple Watch, and then I realized this Apple ecosystem is kind of consuming my wallet, so now I just don't have an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
But I still have Apple Music.
Hey.
Works.
You win some, you lose some. Okay, you ready for round 1?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, Tyler Childers.
Okay.
Oh man, people are gonna kill me. I want to say Feathered Indians, but I know it's not that. I think it's Lady May.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, can you guess the album?
Is it Bottles and Bibles?
No.
Ah, I was like, you checking? Oh.
You're so close. It is Purgatory.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Newer. All right.
Okay. We got round 2.
Are these all the So are these artists that are outside of who I told you to that I don't know?
No, this one should be. No, this one, yeah. No, this one's within the.
Okay.
I had to double check. I was like, wait.
You know when you like email your podcast host and then you forget what you emailed them?
Hey, you're just making it more of a game.
Let me see. Let me see. That one I think I'm gonna take a pass on. I don't know who that is. It sounds like one of my favorite bands is My Morning Jacket, but I don't think that's My Morning Jacket.
You're very off. It is going to be... Are you tapping out on this one?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So it is still Tyler Childers.
Oh, I didn't know I could guess again. Okay, that tracks.
Oh, yeah. And it's All Yourn.
Great song.
And, but it's the Country Squire. The Country Squire album.
This close, but actually really far away.
It's okay. We still have 4 more rounds.
Okay,
so
cool.
We could build up the rep. There's still a chance.
Let's do it.
Okay, round 3.
Billy. It's Billy Strings, but God, why is bluegrass so hard to differentiate from one song to another? I do not know. That might be the Catcher. No.
I gave you a little bit of a hint.
Oh, is it the cocaine one?
Yeah.
The Cocaine Blues or something. Yeah. It's a great song. I remember trying to learn that song. I was just like, why does it sound kind of familiar, but that makes sense.
Do you know the album or have
I
an
have
idea?
no idea. Billy's out. I like almost exclusively just listen to his live stuff. It's so good.
That's very fair,
Yeah,
but it is
I don't know,
from the Rock of Ages, or Rock of Ages, not
Rock
the
of
Rock of
Ages.
Ages.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta get it.
But you got the song.
Yeah. Happy, yeah.
Okay.
A little help. A little help. From
A
my
little
friends.
help. Just a little. A little call in, if you will. Round 4.
Let's do it. All right. I know that's Billy Strings.
Okay.
Is that Across the Mire, or is it the Mire?
I could play I forgot about this, but I could play 5 seconds, another 5 seconds at a different point of the song, if you'd
I'm gonna
like.
take that option.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Let me get it, and then we'll just randomly, boom.
That sounds the same. That sounds the same. I've heard that song so many times. Like I feel like I listen to it all day. Is it Everything's the Same?
So close. It's are you tapping out?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Okay. Watch It Fall from the Home album.
Oh, Watch It Fall. Also a great song.
Oh yeah. And then we have round 5. And then it is such a chore to not say it out loud as I'm trying to find it.
Find Tyler Childers.
Okay.
Some Tyler Childers song.
Do you want another 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do.
Johnny Hooker? Is this really Johnny Hooker?
Yeah.
Alright. Ain't Gonna Change?
Close. I'll give you one
guessing.
hit, and the name of the song is the name of the album.
No. The one thing that this should say, I do not know, but I'm going to put my foot down and say people need to go and listen to John Lee Hooker's first album ever. It's just him and acoustic guitar, and he's just shredding it. Anywho, I don't know. I don't know the song.
It's all good. It's Chill Out from the Chill Out album.
All right, cool.
Okay. And last but not least.
That is definitely John Lee Hooker.
Okay.
Hound Dog or no? Every Day I Got the Blues? No.
Then you still got that other 5. Do you
What?
want the other 5 seconds?
Let's keep. Let's.
Okay. I'll put it. Do you want it mid, left, or right?
Dealer's choice, whatever you want.
We'll just. There we go.
Pass. I am so bad. I feel like such a bad music person.
Yeah, you kind of are a fake fan, but it's okay. It's okay. But that one is Backstabber from the Mr. Lucky album.
Backstabber. That is a great song, and I have heard of that.
But yeah, we are coming a little bit towards the end of the show, so
oh man,
we did it. We did it though.
We talked a lot of science.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I bet you there's a lot of plant people who are gonna like this podcast.
Oh yeah, I know. Aiden was all excited. He's like, "Oh,
yeah,
I wish I could."
You can market this. This will be perfect for
the
musician, plant scientist friend you love.
Oh yeah, but fill us in on what we have to look forward to.
Yeah. So I'm got a couple shows coming up in November. I've taken October off to really fall is my favorite season, and right now I'm just setting a lot of things up. I'll have a merch shop on my website.
Oh yeah!
Said t-shirts, and some other shirts and stickers and whatnot. So yeah, most of my updates I just post to Instagram, where I'm just at Johnny Speaks Music, or my website is just johnnyspeaksmusic.com. But yeah, got a couple cool shows coming up. We're playing at Topo Designs. Should be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a place downtown. They sell nature and hiking gear and stuff. But they also have local musicians do shows. So we're gonna be filming that and kind of making a mini. I don't know what to call it. I want to call it a rock doc, but it's gonna be like a 20-minute video of me talking about music, nature, a little topo, and then me playing. A little
so all this and more.
Yeah. So mostly I'll
Get you a
probably
little
be very
more in
similar
action
to
with
this.
it. I'm excited. Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess everything all about him is going to be in the link down below. So, guys, website, the Spotify, the Apple Music, the website, the shirts,
The website,
everything's going to be down below. Everything.
I have a TikTok that no one follows yet because I haven't posted anything.
Yeah, I know. I gotta.
Yeah,
I know
hard.
I have to do TikTok, but it's so hard.
It's really hard. There's a lot of stuff because we're similar. Where it's like we're doing all of it, so it's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff. But you know what you're doing? You're doing it well.
Thank you. I'm hoping that I could just cheat with it, and once I actually get to editing, we're getting there. My computer cannot handle Premiere right now, so we're gonna have to look at some other options. But yeah, hopefully I could just splice everything and then just keep it on a loop on TikTok where it's just like just the highlights, the highlights.
Yeah, TikTok's another world to me. So
it's the fact that you have to post like 3 times a day just to be anything.
Exactly. And I'm just like, I don't understand how people go viral on it. And I mean, it sounds super old saying that, but I'm just like, how do people get all these views? And you're like, I don't know.
It's the repetition of it. Like there's some like artists. It's the same video.
Yeah,
it's the same video.
And it's like you got to put out stuff that you want to put out and like, but now I feel like people put out stuff. They're just like, I just want likes. Like I'm gonna do something funny, and I'm gonna do this, and it's like, is that really helping you get more people to listen to your music? And you know. I feel like no. But, so maybe we won't do TikTok. Everybody should do that. But I'm gonna get there.
No more TikTok, guys. Find a different app. Use the Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
But I'll probably still be using TikTok once I get there. But it was very lovely having you on the show today. Had an awesome time. Loved being able to talk about plants, music, got the whole performance. We got it all in today.
So fun.
Thank you
all so much. And right back at you. You guys, y'all have been awesome. Super nice and super fun.
Thank you. And as per usual, I'm trying to make it a tradition. If you could just sign this table. We got a little piece of you with us at all times.
Let's do it. I like the big marker for signing.
Thank you.
Feels more powerful.
It is.
Ooh, so this is fun because I get to figure. There's a lot of open space.
It is.
What if I was just like, tip this over? I'm gonna get the bottom.
The whole back.
I'm just gonna do. You know what? I'm gonna do right here left. Oh my god.
Wonderful. Well, that concludes the show, folks. So have a good rest of your day. Go out and just start speaking randomly. Doesn't have to be English. Doesn't have to make sense. Just speak. Do some Johnny speaking.
Just go speak your mind.
Go speak your mind. Never think. But thank you.
Advice. Thank you.